Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you new here, my name is Donna, and for those of you not new, thank you so much for continuing to come back and support my channel. I appreciate all of you guys so very much. So as you saw in the thumbnail and in the title, this is an intro basically to the beauty budget that I have set up for myself in 2020. It is also my January haul. So if you guys have been around for a long time, you do know that in 2018 I did a lot of hauls. I hauled probably more than I did anything else. Working in the field that I work in, I also get a whole lot of gratis. So a whole lot of free items come my way from beauty brands, and that's all fine and good, but it has led to my makeup inventory, which you guys should have seen as well. That inventory only counted my beauty products that are in my everyday rotation and my backup drawers. It didn't count my skincare, which I have a whole lot of skincare that I can see from here, just looking at all that skincare. It didn't count my hair care. It didn't count anything that was in my sample drawers or my bin for giveaway. So like that was just what's in my everyday rotation, and there was nearly 1,000 items in that inventory. Pretty much what I'm saying is I have an inventory full of makeup that I would be hard pressed to use up entirely before it goes bad. And because of the fact that I get free items in, and I do have subscription boxes that I take part in, I have decided that as I'm bringing all kinds of new stuff into my collection every single month, that I need to really sit down and think about what kind of items I should be bringing into my collection, which is part of the reason why I did that inventory, and how much I should be spending. 2019 for me, well, and let's be real, 2018 for me, I was Rouge at Sephora and Diamond at Ulta. And if y'all look that up, you know that that means that I have spent at least $2,400 a year on makeup in the last 2 years. And that's too much. That's too much. And that's at least. It's not including what I have purchased at TJ Maxx. That's not including what I have purchased in excess of hitting those marks. I haven't dove into like my Ulta rewards enough to know how much I spent, but I got like a report card from Ulta rewards in January, at the beginning of January, saying that I had visited a store to purchase. I work there, so I visit a store every single day, but I had visited a store for purchase 40 times last year and earned over 10,000 points. I don't know if you guys know much about the point system, but I earn points because I have the Ulta MasterCard. I also earn points at a speedier rate because of the level that I am with Ulta. But that's a lot. That's a lot of points. At 1.5 times points for every dollar spent, that's a lot of damn dollars. We're just gonna leave it there. And I know that I spent over that Rouge amount for Rouge at Sephora. I just don't know how much more. I don't think it was much. When I started working for Ulta, I next to quit spending at Sephora. There's a handful of things that I still have to purchase there, so I still purchase some stuff at Sephora, just not as much. I really just sat down and started thinking about what I am spending and what I really cannot trust myself to not spend. So I put myself on a budget, and the reasons why I did this is because I really want to pay off some credit. I really want to save some money. I really want to have less items in my stuff, and because I get gratis in, I know that that's going to be hard to do if I am also constantly spending. Like I get I'm probably never going to be a person that has a minimal makeup collection. I don't want a minimal makeup collection. You know, I don't want 2,000 items next year. I don't want 3,000 items the year after that. I want to be able to use as much as I am bringing in, or, you know, some kind of compensatory swing of items coming in versus items going out. I also want to feel a little bit less guilty about my collection. And it's not that I have guilt when I spend. If I couldn't spend the money on it, I wouldn't spend the money on it. I am an accountant. That is what my degree is in. I am really great with my finances, but here's fun fact. I am 43 years old and I've never taken part in a 401k. I need to really sit down and think about my retirement. And I know there's probably a lot of you out there that are like, oh my God, I cannot believe you're right. You're right. I don't need to hear about it in the comment section. I already know. I'm an accountant. I work finances. I know. And it's not that we don't have enough money. I mean, to be honest, we haven't lived paycheck to paycheck for a very, very long time. Even before I started with Ulta, we both have decent jobs. This isn't about that. But we don't have a savings. We should. We just don't. We could. We just don't. I have, stock. I have stock that Fidelity plays with on the stock market and whatnot. I mean, it grows and it doesn't, and it grows and it doesn't. I have a lot of stock. I play in the stock market a little bit. I don't have any of those things, and I'd like to really think about my retirement and a savings account. Please don't come for me in the comments. You guys, I already know. I'm not stupid when it comes to money. I'm not. I already know. I would like for us to be able to go on a vacation. I would love for us to be able to go on a vacation. And again, it's not something that we can't do. It's just something we don't plan for. And there's always something better to spend that money on. Or saving it in our checking account as if that was our savings account for something that, might fall apart in the near future. I mean, we just bought a brand new dishwasher that cost us almost $1,200 and I paid for it. It didn't go on credit, so that is a plus. But at the same time, that could have come out of a savings account had I been plunking our money into smart investments versus the stock market or not saving at all. So there's that. And these are the reasons. With that being said, I am building a budget, and the budget that I have for myself is probably a bit higher than a lot of people think is even noteworthy, but it is a lot less than what I've been spending. Maybe not necessarily per month, but at the end of the year, should I maintain this budget, it'll be definitely a lot less than I've spent year over year for the last 2 years at least. I have a bunch of rules. Let me tell you. So the budget is $150 a month, and that includes my monthly IPSY that I get. And the only reason why it doesn't include the other IPSY that I get is because that one's already paid for, and it doesn't come back up until September 1. And in September, should I choose to re-up that subscription, that payment would come out of my budget for September. So that 100 and whatever it will be to repurchase that for the next year would come out of my $150 that I am able to spend in September. I did note that in here. It says, unless I subscribe for another year in September, at which time that amount would be deducted from my September budget. This includes, this $150 will include any of the IPSY add-ons that I choose to add on. So as with BoxyCharm, IPSY has add-ons that you can add on to your subscription that will come to you. And so you don't have to pay like shipping separately for these items. And they range anywhere from like $3 to like $18. And it's $3 for a sample size up to $18 for a full size. Anything I purchase on the add-ons will also come out of my budget. It includes all beauty purchases, including replenishment purchases. Beauty includes all makeup, all hair care, all beauty room decor, all brushes and sponges for makeup application. It will not include my appointments for cut and color, so it won't include my hair appointments, because if I have to be honest with you guys, my hair costs a lot more than $150 when I go in to get it done. Granted, this next time I go in, I'm working towards trying to be just one solid color and not like a vivid, like crazy color in the future. I'm working towards trying to get it more of a a red. Honestly, I was red before. If you guys go way back in my channel, you will see that. And I want to be red again with maybe some, you know, lighter red and some darker red in there. So I'm working towards that, and it might not be this much, and with my discount it sometimes is a lot less expensive than it could be. But I'm not going to include my hair, but I am going to include my facials, my brow waxing and tinting. All of that will be included as well. The budget can roll month to month. So if I don't use the total amount of the budget, the remaining amount will move into the following month if I want it to, but I cannot borrow from a month in the future in this month to get what I want. So if I want an item this month in February, I can roll in what I didn't spend in January, but I cannot borrow from March to pad my February budget so that I have enough to spend in February. The amount of a store-specific gift card, i.e. an Ulta or Sephora gift card that was given to me, that is gifted to me, won't count against my budget because I don't have any other option but to spend that gift card at that store. However, if I receive a Visa or a MasterCard gift card, if I spend any portion of those gift cards at Sephora or Ulta, that amount that I spent will count towards my budget because I'm categorizing those gift cards as money in my pocket, especially since they're a Visa or a MasterCard one. They would be money in my family's pocket, and therefore any amount of money that I spend towards beauty purchases should count against the budget that I am basically taking out of my family's pocket, if that makes sense. Any points used towards purchasing products, so for instance, at Sephora I have somewhere around 5,000 points, and because you can never purchase anything at Sephora with the point system there is stupid. Let me not get on that soapbox, but if you want to hear a little bit about the differences between the Sephora point system and the Ulta point system and why Ulta's is so much better, even as a consumer before I started working at Ulta, I knew that, I thought that. You can visit any video out there that'll tell you so. I can also put one together if you'd like, but I have somewhere near 4,000, 5,000 points at Sephora. I also have over 4,000 points at Ulta. I have a lot of points that I've used at Ulta, but what I'm saying is those points are earned from spending the money over previous years. So basically I've already spent that money, so everything that I get using my points isn't going to count towards my budget because it's money that's already been spent. Any gratis or gifts that I get are not going to count towards my budget. I get a lot of gratis. If I counted everything against my budget, then my budget would be gone in no time. And while I don't think that that's horrible, I also know that gratis isn't something, I mean, it's a gift. So I don't want to count gifts that friends give me as a budgetary piece. I didn't spend that money, they did. So I'm not going to count gratis against it either. Clothing is not going to count towards my budget, but jewelry is. Earrings is another horrible, horrible place for me. My mother sells jewelry, and each piece of that jewelry is $5 a piece. And when I spend with my mother, it's typically like $60 at a time. So because it's so easy to spend, they're $5 a piece. They're amazing. So I need to count jewelry in this budget because if I do not, I will go overboard. I currently have over 400 pairs of earrings. Who needs that many pairs of earrings? Nobody does. Nobody needs that many pairs of earrings. So there are some things that I am not allowing myself to buy while I am on this low buy or beauty budget of sorts. And they are things that I realized in my makeup inventory, which is the reason why I did a makeup inventory, that I just had way too many of and I just don't need in my collection. One thing I don't need is bras. So this isn't necessarily something that's part of my makeup inventory, but it falls into this mindset of things that I think I need to purchase 800,000 of at a time. I have currently 7 bras downstairs, and while I've gained some weight and these bras are uncomfortable right now. I know that the only reason why they're uncomfortable is because I've gained some weight. They're rather new bras. I just need to lose a couple 10, 15, 400 pounds and they would fit me just fine all over again. So I do not need to buy any more bras. Some other things that I do not need to buy. Eyeliners are on my no-buy list. Mascaras on my no-buy list. Face palettes. I do not use face palettes. And I think if you watch my inventory, I think I had 22 face palettes. I got probably every single one of those in a subscription box because I don't purchase face palettes, but I have 22 of them. So I do not need any more face palettes. I am not allowed to buy them. I'm also not allowed to buy concealers. I am also not allowed to buy eye primers. In my year of empties last year, I went through one eye primer and I still have 14 eye primers. Actually, I just emptied one, so I have 13 eye primers. I don't need eye primers, so I'm not allowed to buy them. I'm also not allowed to buy skincare. As I said, I'm staring over there at two, you guys, you don't even know. I've got so much skincare, it's not even funny. And I don't need, and good skincare, Dermalogica, I've got some Clinique in there, I've got some Boscia in there. A lot of Dermalogica because I'm a Dermalogica partner. You guys, I've got so much. I don't need any more, so I'm not allowed to buy skincare. I also put myself on a palette restriction. However, I can see this being a problem because palettes is my thing. I don't really have the desire to spend a whole lot of money on makeup these days, if I am being honest. I don't think I've been on the Sephora or Ulta website in months to check out what's new in makeup. And when I go into my work, any one of the stores that I'm in on a regular basis, when I go in to any one of those stores, I no longer really look at the makeup. It's not something that phases me, and I'm at this point where I'm like, I have so much. I just want to stop. With that being said, I am also not going to feel ashamed if I steer outside of this budget once in a while, because I honestly feel like then I will be trying to hide it. Then I will put myself in this place where it's a shame on you situation, and that's not what this is about for me. This isn't a shame on me situation at this point in time. This is just a holy shit, you've got too much shit situation. So there's that. I am holding myself accountable to this budget, but I am also not going to feel bad if I go outside of this budget one month. I'm just going to jump back into it the next. Let's talk about what I hauled in January, because I already effed up. But I think I effed up because I hadn't completely come to terms with what I was doing for a budget. I hadn't yet filmed my inventory, and I didn't know where some of these things lied in my makeup inventory at that time. So one of the things for January that counted towards my budget was my IPSY box. And you guys saw me unbox my IPSY last month. I did get the plus. The plus does count towards my budget, and that was $26.98. They counted against my $150 for January. I didn't get any facials this month. I didn't buy any jewelry this month. I didn't get my eyebrows done this month, even though I need them to be done. I will probably do them next month. So the next thing that counts against my budget is this. It is the MAC Bold and Bad Lash Mascara. So like I said, this is something that I'm not allowed to purchase according to my budget. But again, I think that I know I purchased this before I really had solidified my budget and what that meant and done my inventory and knew how many items I had in certain areas of my collection, and before I took mascaras off the list of something that I can buy. This is a mascara that was at TJ Maxx. It did cost me $12.99, so that is the amount that I am taking off of my $150 budget for the month. And this is the mascara that I'm not going to open it up because I don't want to, I don't want that clock to start ticking on it yet. But this is the mascara that's in 2 different parts. So I think it's the top one comes off and it's a little tiny wand, good for your lower lashes. And then the bigger part, I think, is the black part, and it comes out and it is for your upper lashes. I've always wanted to try this, and you guys, when I pulled this out of here, I was like, this is the coolest packaging ever. Those words on there are like felt. They're like so cool. I love this packaging. It's very tactile. I'm excited to try it, but it is a mascara that is being placed into my collection that I didn't necessarily need, but I added a tally mark to the mascaras in my collection. The last thing that I picked up this month, so the last thing counting against my beauty budget, is this. It is the Urban Decay Moondust palette. This is a palette that I have wanted ever since it came out. And this is a palette that I also found at TJ Maxx, and it did cost me $17.99 for a grand total of $57.96 that I have spent this month on beauty, which is a far cry from what I have spent in the past. This is what the palette looks like. I was super excited to find one that was completely untouched at TJ Maxx. It looks like they had just brought them in, and man, I am super excited to try this. I have heard really great things about this kind of shadow formula from Urban Decay, and I know it came out approximately the same time frame that the Urban Decay Electric came out, and I love that formula. I love that palette. Those are the items that I purchased for January. So again, $57.96. So I'm just going to go ahead and round it up and say that we spent $58 this month. So with that being said, we have a little bit under $100 that's rolling into my February budget. My intention is not to spend the bulk of my budget every single month. There will be months that I do. There will be months that I don't. If I end up not spending the basically $1,800 that I've allowed myself at the end of the year, then I will be ever so ecstatic. My original thought was to take the money that I had not spent that was part of the beauty budget, so this month it would be $92, and put that into a savings account. I still might do that if I find that I am bumping money month over month over month into the following month because I just don't want to spend it right now, then that is exactly what I will start doing. But this month it looks like we have $92 moving into February's budget. So for February, I have $242 that I would be able to spend on makeup. I don't see me spending $242 on makeup. This is an ever-evolving process. I reserve the right to come back to you in a few months and revise this beauty budget, but know that I am sticking to a beauty budget this year. It's just very dependent on how I'm going to manipulate the money that I don't spend, more so than it is how I'm going to manipulate the money that I'm allowed to spend. So with that being said, we're moving into February with $242 available to us for spend. I'm not seeing on the horizon anything coming out that I want to spend that money on, but I do need my brows done, so that will come out. I will probably get a facial or two, and I hope that you guys enjoyed my video today. Please let me know what kind of beauty budget you have set for yourself for 2020. If you have a beauty budget, please let me know what you think of mine. Please don't shame me in the comments. I already know. Like I said, I already know. So I don't need, if you think that you need to tell me how stupid I am for not having a 401k, I already got it. I don't need you to tell me, I already know. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you enjoyed it enough that you're considering giving it a big thumbs up. It really does help our channels out here. I also hope that you enjoyed it or me enough that you're considering subscribing to my channel before you go. If you do, I do upload content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you're notified every single time I upload. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that February is treating you well. And until next time, guys, bye.